Right, so welcome back to the Bach and Arthur podcast, episode 25. Come on.
Oh, he
we got a good
backhanded me.
high five.
Get my ass.
We are back for sure. It's been a busy few weeks, so we've had a pretty set schedule of every week, Wednesday Patreon, Thursday upload, but it's been a bit up and down.
Yeah, our apologies for not sticking to schedule, but it's been nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, the last Sunday one had to have been like that because Theo's waffling thing was supposed to come out the week before, but it came out on Sunday. And then this week, it's currently Thursday now. Yeah. I've just gotten back from being away. So this was like the early. I've come straight from the airport and haven't slept.
Yeah, so there's a suitcase sat right there.
Yeah, there is.
Right there. And he brought back an unnamed bug.
Full of stolen goods.
Yeah.
And you've been away in America.
America, yeah. Because I went to Spain and then we got back, filmed an episode. So that was a little late because we had to do it just on that day. Because then I flew to Kansas with the NFL, which was so cool, by the way.
Do you like the NFL?
So sick. I'd never watched it. And I always had the opinion of it like, oh, it's kind of a stupid sport because I didn't understand it. But now, oh my God, it's so cool. I think it's such like over there, it's just like, it's more than just a game. It's like a whole performance and everything. Like you go and watch a game, there's people dancing, there's people flying in parachutes, there's the stealth bomber flew over.
It's huge, isn't it? It's so American how big it was. I remember when I went to DC when I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And I went with the family that I stayed with over the weekend. We went to watch like college football. And I remember looking at them and being like, this is a stadium that's like bigger than a lot of Premier League stadiums. It's crazy.
Yeah, they'll pack it out with like 50,000 people in there.
Yeah.
And it's for college athletes, it's insane. Some college games are bigger than the actual NFL games, which are just insane.
It is crazy.
But they explain it in a good way. They said like college football is kind of like the Premier League and NFL is more like Champions League sort of thing for them because it's such a big country. Like just one league being the main thing wouldn't make sense because there's just so many of them. So that's why college football is so big. And then they got the draft and everything like that. But it was such a cool experience and it really did get me into American football. And if it wasn't on at such weird times over here, like you have to be up like 3 a.m. watching a game, then I would be like, I would think I would watch it pretty often. I'll watch the highlights now, but it was a really fun trip. Really nice. Yeah. And so then, I came back from Kansas. Was that then when, because on the day that I flew back, we filmed the Theo pod.
Yeah.
And then you've been to...
I was away in Italy.
He's been away in Italy, brought back stolen goods, and here we are now. And I'm also moving out, so everything's a bit all over the place.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You moving house is a busy one. But in between, we actually have one other thing, the fishing trip, which we can finally talk about. Yeah.
That was fun.
That was very fun. The Patreon people might have an inkling that we've done some fishing-y content because you put a post when you were like, hey guys, just to update you, this like pod or whatever will be a bit late or whatever. Yeah. You sent a photo of me in like those like waterproof dungarees type things deep out in the River Thames. Yeah, we filmed a little pilot. Yeah. I think we can say that much. Yeah. A little magnet maybe involved. A magnet fishing experience that might end up on like TV. So this isn't like look out for the vlog that will be in 2 weeks. This is this might be a few months away.
Yeah, so we were doing that and also something even bigger. So the reason we're off schedule is for a good reason really, guys, because we're doing a
live show. Come on. People have been asking us this for so long.
On the 10th of October, we're doing a live show at Hackney Empire. Tickets are on sale. They may be sold out already by the time you saw this because we did an initial sale, sold out within a couple of hours, which was crazy. Yeah. That was like, 700 tickets or something like that? And then another 200.
800, I think.
850. And then we put out another 200. They sold out on the same day. And then we've put out another, is it 200?
A final 200.
A final 200, which I think are still out there. So if you want to get tickets, we'll put it in the link in the description. But come see us. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Can't wait for it, man.
It's going to be such good fun. Yeah, that was probably the main thing that the Patreon people have enjoyed because the scheduling's been a bit all over the place. Yeah. But they got early access to the tickets, which is cool. Like we always said that they were going to get early access tickets, so they got to pick good seats. So I'm thinking if this live show does well, we may very well end up doing a tour.
Yes,
in a couple of months.
Did you get all the messages from people saying, "Oh, please come up north, please come up north"? Don't worry, guys. We got big plans.
Because I mean, this was late notice. It's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
It's a relatively small event. We are using this as a like, let's go, let's have as much fun as possible. Let's put on as good a show as possible. And if those people like it, then we can go, you know what, let's go give a show to everyone and tour the country, maybe tour the world.
Yeah, who knows? We might even be in Oz.
We might go to Australia and New Zealand at some point. Yeah, America.
We're running it as a little bit of a test because you can't go straight into a tour.
No.
Because what happens if the first one's shit and then
no one likes
you've got 8 more lined up? So this is a little tester, and then we'll make sure that if we do a tour, then the dates are good and it's on the weekend, whatever, you know. Yeah. And then everyone can come and see us.
But thanks for everyone who's got tickets so far. Like it was really cool to put out the post. Because literally, I think most of the tickets went on Patreon. Yeah. And then the rest went just from the pinned comment in the Theo video. We didn't really speak about it. So like we haven't really done any promo. No. And for it to sell out and they were like, oh, we didn't expect you to sell out. We'll actually open the like higher tiers. They've done that once and now we sold that out. And so we've got that one more tier. So hopefully there'll be some more tickets.
We got some,
But if not...
We got some fun ideas lined up as well, so...
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun show.
Yeah, like you said, the main thing for us is just to get out there and have fun. Yeah. That was the main goal of the whole thing, so... Yeah,
and there's a meet and greet as well, so people have been able to say...
Yeah, there was we put out 100 meet and greet tickets. We would love to do more, but the thing is, it's way more time consuming than you would expect it to be, because even if you just spend a minute with each person, that's an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah,
which
it's
means
such a shame because like you'd kind of love to have a good few minutes with everyone. Like when we did the Red Bull Racing and like events like that, when we get to just like chat to people, and I did a bit on Arthur's show and George's show, like everyone's so lovely, and it's like you know, especially if they've watched us for a while, they've got so much they probably want to say, and you're kind of like, oh, you don't really want to like cut them off and be like, oh, well, you've had your minute. You kind of want all 800 people to be like, come chat, but it would.
I know, if it was up to us, I mean, we'd probably be there from like 5 a.m. till...
Time dilation, maybe on tour we can get in a rocket ship, do super fast laps of the earth, slow down time, we can do it all in the hour running up to the podcast.
And then we get off, throw up, straight into the show. All over again.
But yeah, no, that will be really cool.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on in our lives. That's why things have been a bit all over the place, but it is for a good reason. We got... some fun things lined up, you know.
And now you're going to be moved in by the time this podcast comes out.
That's right. I move in. Tomorrow's my birthday. Next day, I move in.
Yeah. Everyone say happy belated birthday, ItalianBach.
Right now. I'm 35 years old. No, I'm not really. I'm going to be 24, guys.
Come on. Sorry. And and then when you're living here, it'll be a bit easier because you won't have like a 5-hour round trip to do a podcast episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because it would have been so much easier. If I lived in London, though, I could have nipped in and done a podcast, but it does take me like 5-6 hours round trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm going to be here. Who knows? The output might even increase.
And we did in fact promise a double episode soon. I think you might have
true,
jumped the gun a little bit by being like the week after the next we'll do it.
That's right, guys.
Maybe we'll do it. Thankfully you put a maybe or whatever, so it wasn't a certain promise. But there definitely will be. The second you're settled into your apartment,
hey,
we can do it. It'll do
Who knows? Maybe we'll even convert to a two upload week.
Yeah.
Maybe. I said maybe, don't worry.
Yeah, if you guys don't get bored, please don't get bored.
Don't get bored.
Please watch these episodes to the end. Hit like, hit subscribe.
Yeah, also, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, do it.
Oh yeah, if you're on YouTube, haven't hit subscribe. And if you're on Spotify or any audio platforms and you haven't rated us 5.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, do a flip.
Do it. Yeah, thank you. And that was actually really cool getting Theo on because he was a 1 out of 10.
Was he?
Yeah, it was.
That's right. I'm not surprised to be fair.
It was a good point. It was really interesting actually. People I think could have. We did say at the end we'd do more on the time dilation because we kind of skimmed through it and didn't properly.
And they want a black holes episode as well.
Yeah,
like these things will come. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But we really need to like plan those episodes. So yeah, we'll wait till I'm moved in and we can get together and plan these things together.
Yeah, come on.
That's right.
We've actually got some interesting science and a bit of astronomy coming up.
That's right.
Because I've been missing it. We had the nice chat with Theo, but it did make me go, I miss speaking about science.
As soon as Theo left, you just said, boring. Want to talk about black holes?
But we've got a science segment coming up, and we've got a submission segment coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
In the science one, in fact, we've got 2 parts of the science segment because we've got the headlines game, which everyone loves. Because not only do you find out all the cool stuff that's been happening in the world of science lately, you also get to play a little game and see if you can guess the right answers for them.
Yeah.
And we've got a little quiz to figure out what. Actually, you know what? I'll save it. Just make sure you stick around.
Ooh. And if you haven't already,
Sidemen Among Us. And if you haven't already, Sidemen Among Us, don't watch it.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
I was going to say, part 2 is going out tonight. So it was like 2 weeks ago, like Chipfat just goes, Chipfat's the guy who edits the Sidemen Among Us video.
Okay.
And he's like a magician in terms of editing. I mean, just probably like one of the great, like the Da Vinci of editors at the moment. Sensational talent. But yeah, he shoots me a message like a day before, and I've never played Among Us. Had no idea what it was. Among Us? No, never watched any Among Us videos.
Oh, so that's why you're such a sussy bucker.
Yeah. And so the night before, I'm like playing in public lobbies with like random people, and people are mean online.
You're putting training in. Yeah, they are.
There was this like little lady online who was like trying to host, and everyone was like, "Shut up, just play the game."
Wait,
and she was like,
voice on.
Yeah, voice. Like you can join the Among Us voice, like Discord. Join with the voice. So I was like playing with all these people. Every now and then we'll go like, "Swear you sound like the ArthurtV from."
Oh really?
And I was like, this guy playing Among Us and like has come across my content, or me on they're 100% watching the Sidemen Among Us tomorrow and being like, I played with this idiot before.
My God.
But
I'm putting in training, guys.
But the night before, I basically put in training. I was like, I've got to figure out how to play it.
Yeah.
And then I watched loads of like the most viral clips. And in the most viral clips, everyone's always like, rah, like, you're sus, I think it's you. And I was like, you know what? If I go into it and I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm just running around doing tasks, they're going to be like, why would we ever have him back? Like, that was so boring. Like, didn't really know what he was doing. Boring. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? If I sense someone's an imposter or something like that, I'm just going to be like, yo.
Did you do it like that?
For it.
Yo, yeah, yo.
And at the time, I was having an absolute ball, not really knowing what I was doing.
Who are you? Or can you not reveal who you were thrown on the bus? The first part's out, right?
The first part's out, so it's the same lot, and this will be out on the day we're filming today, the Thursday. I might have deleted my Instagram and Twitter from all the comments being like, "You're an idiot." There's loads of people after the first one, but yeah, I did it, and I just didn't really know what was going on, and because they've played so much, they don't just do like some imposters, some crewmates. They have like jester roles,
those bits I don't understand,
roles, and I was like, it was all so confusing, but I was like, if I'm going to make this as entertaining as possible, given I don't really know what I'm doing, I've just got to full send it.
Yeah.
And then I haven't watched it back because I get the ick just from the comments alone. And everyone's like, bro, you are the dumbest Among Us player ever. Like,
but it was all part of your plan.
Any reputation that I might have gained
of being
somewhat knowledgeable on this podcast or on my own channel. I feel like it's a very different. I feel like Among Us, the fellas were saying this, kind of have their own audience as well. Like,
I saw Cal talk about that.
As many views as their main channel videos. Like, it's mental. So I'm hoping a lot of them there's not as much crossover. But then that means that's the only thing loads of them will ever see of me, just being this mental.
True. That is true.
Clueless
but if it's
moron.
funny, they'll check you out.
That's the thing. Like, it was very 50-50. I was like, Chipfat, I was like, bro, just cut out my yapping for this second part. But he was like, honestly, like it was one of the best performing episodes. Like, people do love like having something to like say like, oh, this is crap or that was dumb. Like, it is all part of fun, and because it's Among Us, like at the end of the day, it's not that deep. I think a lot of the people that are going like, you're such an idiot, you can tell like they're going like, you know, they just mean it in jest. They're just going, I can't believe how dumb you are on that day. But I thought over the last like week or two that like that was the entire recording that had gone up.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, these comments ain't too bad. I'm just getting called dumb a few times.
Yeah, but you've got a whole.
And then he told me that the second half, which is where I got more confident.
Oh my God.
It's coming out today. And I was like, bro, I can't lie, I'm deactivating my social media. So if you've watched the Among Us and you're still watching this podcast episode, you must be very loyal.
Was it that bad? Oh
I'm playing up a little bit, but
now I'm worried about what you've done.
No, I mean nothing like offensive. Like,
I was just throwing out racial slurs and stuff. No. You bastard!
No, it's all just, I think, wrongly accusing people of being like, everyone was just being weird, like Deji and Freezy, and like people were being really shady.
Yeah.
And so I saw them being a bit shady, and I was like, you know what, you're shady, and I think I must have just got every call wrong as well.
Really? Well, that's entertaining though. So I think you've done your role.
No, it'd be fine. Chip Fat seemed to love it as well. He was like, it makes the episode like really entertaining.
That's good.
If you're there for the chaos, because like I guess no one wants to see
No one
Like,
wants to see him play it properly.
You're just like, oh, like a well played.
Yeah.
Like they want to see people being really smart and playing good plays and like clowning on the dummies.
Yeah.
But yeah, gosh, I don't know if I'm ever getting called back, but if I do, I'm going to do more than one night's prep.
That's imagine the next time he comes back, he's so toned down. He's like, yes,
yeah.
I'm not sure who it might be.
It's funny because I spoke to George after it as well, and George was like, his plan going in was the exact opposite. He was like, unless I'm absolutely sure, I'm not accusing anyone of being an imposter.
And you just went
so he
for
just
it.
played a really smooth game.
Yeah.
He might have got something wrong, but I think I probably got to the point where I was like, just waffling, just making sure.
But it's all right. Everyone's friends, so it's fine.
No, exactly. Yeah, no,
it's a bit different. If,
it was
like,
a good
they don't
laugh.
know you, but you're good.
And I feel like we're more built for like, I guess, the more reacty stuff. And we did a bunch of the react stuff after as well, which was really good fun.
That's true.
So
Yeah. Oh, you did some reacts.
There's a bit of redemption. Yeah, we did some reacts.
Nice.
It was really interesting actually to see the way Sidemen do their reacts compared with us.
Yeah.
We're very stop-start, like stop, talk for a long time, yap loads.
They do it over the video.
They kind of do it, which must be so much better for attention because I think we'd react to a 10-minute video and the video would be half an hour long. Whereas they do it and it's like 11 or 12 minutes and all the commentary is like so fast. And
the thing is, for them, they can do that because they're the Sidemen. And like people are going to watch those videos regardless. And plus, it's for them, I feel like it's more just about getting more content out rather than like for us, that's our whole video. That's our whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we spend time.
We have to spend more time on them.
I guess.
Whereas for them, it's just like a side thing for them. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just
but
like
very entertaining because like the clips are entertaining, and then you've just got 4 people constantly coming up with jokes, comments, and stuff, and you're like, oh,
their
wow,
dynamic's really good. So
time
it works really well. Yeah. It makes sense to have a reaction channel, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's a good move.
Mr. Beast had one at one point. I don't know if he's still got one.
Yeah, he
did Mr. Beast
He
Reacts.
stopped it. From what I heard, it was that like he's such a like he loves to be at the top of his game in everything he does.
Yeah.
And even though they were getting like 20, 30 mil, he wanted to be like, I'm Mr. Beast. I only get like 100 mil per video.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether that's true. That's just what Twitter sort of like.
Yeah.
We're saying, but maybe it's I don't know, because like they're in a studio and they film and they get 30 mil views. Like the profit margins on that must be mad.
Yeah. I think maybe it's like a time thing for Mr. Beast. You think the amount of things that he does, but then Sidemen as well. Like, how do they have time for that?
A lot of their friends host it. Like a lot of the Mr. Beast Reacts,
That's
he's
true.
not in
He's
it.
not even in it. Yeah.
It would be like,
It's a really interesting setup they've got, and the Sidemen as well. It's really interesting. It's like it is like a big business, isn't it?
Well, with the Sidemen thing, like we filmed so many on the bounce because like, if we do a video, we'd probably record for an hour and a half. Cut down to a 30-minute video, and you'd be like, God, I'm quite tired after that. Whereas theirs, like, we'd record for like 15 minutes, record for another 15 minutes, like back to back.
Yeah, well, I remember
flowy.
because after they obviously reacted to my thing, I was speaking to JJ, and he said they recorded on that day. I think it was like 17 videos. They were split into 2 groups, and they did like 17 videos each or something, back to back.
We were just in the same Discord thing, and it was like half
That's
them, half
insane
them.
work.
Yeah. Fun. It makes sense as well. Like.
Why not get it all done then?
Yeah. And that must just be so good for the algorithm because no one's clicking off because there's so much stuff
for them.
coming.
They've like nailed down the process of like video making though, haven't they? Like it is like a job just as much as it's fun. Like they'll get there, they'll film 9 to 5 or whatever. Yeah. These reacts, and then you've got like a stockpile.
They're a well-oiled machine.
They are.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I did a video recently. One of my most recent reacts involved some of the Sidemen and stuff. The Looksmaxxing video.
I thought you were going to say this. Yeah.
We spoke about the guy who did the Looksmaxxing videos because he had done one on you.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
We spoke about it, and then he did one on me.
Yeah, because I remember you saying to me, because after we spoke about it, you were like, I'm just waiting for him to do one on me so I can make a video about it.
Yeah,
he had it planned already.
I did it straight away.
Yeah. Because that did really well as well. How many views?
Yeah, it's one of my most viewed. I think it's my most viewed solo video by miles on the channel. But it's on like almost 700k views, which is crazy.
That's insane numbers.
In fact, our editor, shout out pod editor, Gregor. You can cut that out if you don't want your name out there, or maybe not, because we've got Bachelor Arthur Podders in his Twitter bio.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want your name in there, that's fine. Was like, oh, your channannel's never come up for me before, but he's like, I watched that video and thought it was.
Sick. So that reached like a whole new. Yeah, of course it would reach a whole new audience. Yeah, that's really good.
But yeah, I wanted to briefly talk about it because I've obviously spoken a little bit about it. I kind of blind reacted to it.
Yeah.
And you've seen it. I just wondered what your thoughts were on all of this.
What, on the original video?
Just looks, well, everything, like how you felt about him grading you.
Oh, I found it funny. I did find it funny. I didn't take any offense at all because I think it's, I do think it's ridiculous. But I just thought it's a really weird account. If I made your video, I would be going in on him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
it would have been a takedown video.
In hindsight, I was more like, I was giving quite a lot of credence to what he was saying and stuff, and being like, oh no, he said this, and I think it was just because he was saying the stuff I was expecting about me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh, this is interesting. And
to be fair, he said the same. Like he says like some of the stuff does make sense. It's just a weird thing to do, I think.
Yeah, it's very odd.
And it feels very brain rot. Plus, like when he's talking about like canthal tilts and stuff like that, like what the hell does that even mean?
Yeah.
Right? And what was it?
The interocular distance, I got cooked on my eyes being far apart.
I don't know what that is.
That's what I was saying. Like getting into this stuff, like it's already is pretty naturally, I think, quite a toxic environment to get yourself into, because it just, like I said in the video, like it can just raise you to like insecurities you just didn't know you had.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really weird account, really weird thing to post. But that was it. There's a whole thing called like facial harmony as well. Like you can break down features all you want, but if they work well on a face, you've got good facial harmony.
That's what I said at the end of the video.
Did you say it? Yeah.
I was like, this just shows that it's such bollocks, because you can have people and be like, oh, their eyes are this, or their nose, or their chin and this, but look at them and be like, oh, that's a very attractive person.
Yeah,
and like,
exactly. Yeah.
Attraction is so subjective as well. Like ask a group of your friends like who they think the most attractive person is.
Yeah.
And you'll get some people going like, oh, no way, like I don't see that at all, but fair enough. And other people being like, oh, I see this person, don't see that. And it's so subjective. Like,
yeah, it is. I also like how you pulled up the, because I spoke about it with you in the office, because he said he's got a big Italian nose, and then this picture of Mario came up, which is borderline racist, by the way, because it's not even and you said it's not even an Italian nose. This is from my Swiss side of the family, so it's not even accurate. He was just outright calling my nose.
Yeah, and the other thing is that it's definitely slightly the way he does it. At least I obviously don't really spend any time in the community because it is a very like niche corner of the internet.
Yeah.
That, like I said, can't be a particularly healthy place to be. Like I'm very in favor of self-improvement, and if you're like, oh, you know, there's this bit about my face and I can change it by, you know, like making myself a bit less puffy, or you want to like find ways to whiten your teeth in a healthy way or whatever it is, like, you know, that's not necessarily causing too much harm, but it's, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror. Like the guy cooked me for my interocular distance and I was like, there is nothing I can do about the fact that my eyes are far apart. Yeah. So there's no Looksmaxxing to be done, you degenerate. Yeah. Just leave me alone.
Literally, yeah. I can't max nothing out of that. Yeah, it was a really dumb thing. But the nice thing is that everyone in the comments is saying you're just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
Yeah, people were very annoyed that he gave you a lower
even Bellingham got, what did Bellingham get?
Bellingham got 7. And
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. I was a 6.5. So
ridiculous.
I was like, I can't really be mean, too upset about this. Sorry, but
yeah, it's just the rating system's so off.
And it was very like Eurocentric as well, because it was like blue eyes are the most favorite.
Yeah,
and, like big noses were bad. Like small noses.
Exactly.
Big,
yeah, I saw people talking about that.
It's like there's and like I said as well in the video, it just doesn't take into so many other things which make some people so attractive as well, like personality, style,
rose toy collection,
even a rose toy collection. You know, and
yeah, it's so true. I mean, you're a 10.
Yeah, come on, thanks. So are you, man.
So is Bellingham.
So is everyone.
Everyone is a 10.
And it is one of the things, like I think you've just got to, when you come across content like that, you just have to laugh at it and like observe it as a bit of an irrelevant piece of thing that it is, because...
No, I did really find it funny because it was sent to me a couple of times, and I just think the whole rating system was just funny, like how he's breaking it down and going negative canthal tilt, and he was talking about Ramus and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was quite funny.
Oh my goodness,
it was funny.
Yeah.
But although I find it funny, stop making the videos. They're dumb. Okay.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Like you said, I think it is very, very brain rotty.
Yeah, it is very brain rotty.
And the final thing before we get into the cool, fascinating science, last life, SlushyNoobz.
Oh my God, yes.
I put it on my story, and I'm sure by the time this is out, you will have put something on your story as well. But we got sent some slushy merch.
Yeah, because we just got a message from them saying, yo, can you fill this out? We want to send you something. Which was really, I think we already told them that at the time, which was really ominous. So. But yeah, you would have seen on Arthur's story already. Do you want to break down what was in the box? It's
so
quite
we
funny.
got this box. It's a nice grey hoodie.
Yeah, it says Nap Queen on it.
That says Nap Queen on it. A nice t-shirt. By the way, the quality of the merch is very nice. Like it's so soft and cozy. A t-shirt with like Find X as like on a triangle. You're supposed to use trigonometry, and they've just circled it, been like, here it is.
Easy. Yeah, that's easy.
Oh, and what was the other one? The t-shirt was like,
why something about ask an encyclopedia. I could just ask my wife or something like that.
Yeah, and like points to the side. I was like, one of these podcast episodes, I have to wear it. If I hadn't just come back, honestly, if I had had time to go home, I would have worn it.
And the most important thing.
And the most important thing and the creepiest bit was masks of both of them.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was the first thing that opened. So when I put down my story being like, open this up, and got jump scared by these masks. Martin replied to my story being like, sorry about that.
Dude,
scared the hell out of me.
The funniest thing is I got the box first, right? And there was just a Hamza mask in it. And I was like, I thought, oh, they just did a mask for Hamza. And then I got another package the next day, which was a bag. I opened it. It was just Martin's head. They got sent separately. It was so funny. But thanks guys. You've officially infected us with the slushy virus. And before anyone tries to gatekeep them and say, oh, you guys only like the slushy noobs now, let me tell you some slushy lore, which I haven't even told you yet.
Oh.
This dates back to before the SlushyNoobz were even banded together. I used to watch the guys on TikTok.
On those like live things that they did.
Because Martin would go by 2006 Wii Remote for a while on his second account. You know, he released a song that was actually really good, and I downloaded it ages ago and just remembered about it. But can I play it on here? Will it be copyright or not?
Not worth the risk, I don't think.
But guys, search, or I don't know, do your own research, find it yourself. I don't know whether I should just say the song name, because maybe Martin's trying to keep it a secret.
Oh, maybe.
But I've just revealed it. No, it was out there anyway, but it's genuinely a really good song. Yeah, and I downloaded it at the time. It goes, I can sing it actually.
Go on.
Trying to take your man, I can be your man. Why take your man when I'm stacking up these bands? Out of man, sitting on a mattress. It's like that.
Banger. Like dead serious.
Yeah, it's actually a really good song.
Play.
But I think he's musical anyway. I think they've
many talents.
They've hinted to that in like SlushyNoobz videos. Because he can't. Is it his brother makes music or something, or he make? I don't know.
Yeah, you're a real slushy. Whenever anyone's like the slushy, even the normies are on it now. You always get very.
I get annoyed because people think I'm a normie. I'm like, come on, man. I've been here. I've been a slushy noob.
Yeah, and that would be so sick if we could go to the US at some point and do a vid or something with them.
Although they are in Canada.
Yeah.
Normie.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. Exactly.
Normie. Normie, do you know what? Send your stuff back. You don't even deserve that.
Yeah, because I like watching clips and comments of them.
You do, yeah.
But you fully watch the full YouTube.
Oh yeah,
I just don't watch YouTube. That's why.
That's what I wanted to talk about on the podcast. Their latest mukbang was so funny. They had a skin tag removal 10 minutes into a mukbang.
That's mental.
Oh, it was just the funniest video ever. Anyway, I've stopped fanboying over SlushyNoobz, but I think they're so funny.
Yeah, I used to like Martin and Aldo's lives as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're so good.
They're just really funny guys.
Yeah. But I'm definitely much more of a slushy normie than you. Yeah. But, you know, still think it's pretty cool. Anyway, are you ready for the science time?
Yes.
So I've got 3 headlines. Cool, fun, interesting headlines from the world of science lately. And I'm going to ask you to pick A, B, and C, which is the true element in the title. I haven't really phrased that well, but I'm sure.
I'm so confused right now.
So go on.
Wait, can you say it in English?
So go on.
Wait, what do you mean go on? Do what?
I haven't told you enough yet, don't I? Go ahead. Spit it out.
Carrot.
So, science news headline number 1. Something is blocking out the universe.
Rose toys.
Is it A, the ISS, B, Elon Musk, or C, the sun?
C, the sun.
Why?
Because it's so bright, it means you can't see yonder.
It's actually B,
Elon Musk. Starlink.
It's Starlink. There are so many satellites whirring around the Earth that scientists in the Netherlands are like, every time we try and see something, you're blocking the way.
Oh no.
So it's hindering astronomical research, blinding radio telescopes. Do you know how many satellites there are? Starlink satellites out there right now, hovering just over 500 kilometers up.
How many?
6,000.
Greedy bastard.
We were speaking slightly about junk in
space junk,
out there, and how that like
debris.
space just needs to be a collaborative effort.
I'm gonna go up there with a fucking Henry Hoover soon.
You know what's not? Well, go up there.
Someone's got to do it
very soon, because Starlink. So for people who don't know, Starlink is basically they're satellites all across the world that can give you internet, fast internet, no matter where you are. So if you're in the middle of the ocean, or like you're living a van life and you just park up somewhere away from like normal phone service or Wi-Fi or anything like that, you can pull out your like Starlink satellite and get fast internet, which is fantastic for the human race.
I got to come clean. I've got one.
Have you?
Yeah.
No way.
Because I lived in rural Britain.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi sucks ass, so I needed a satellite.
Yeah, so people like that, people who have van lives, live on boats.
I'm part of the problem. Just say it.
But the annoying thing is that like the same way you should when things are so large, like with trains, you don't go, oh, each different train company build your own railway through the company through the country, because you go, there's not enough space.
Yeah,
but Starlink have a rival called OneWeb, and they've got 1,000 satellites up there. And Amazon are now planning on being a competitor and sending 3,000 up there in the coming years. And it's like, I feel like at this point, governments should step in and be like, right, we'll communally own all the satellites. Everyone can use them.
This is quite annoying, because I was going to put one up at some point, but I don't think I fucking
the whole batch and after satellite project.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be fucking ruined.
Part of the problem.
And it's going to get to a point where it's actually difficult to even get up there anymore. How am I going to get to the moon? Because
you just bump into, you get crashed into stuff. I mean, I know you get the sort of like profit drives innovation, and so having private companies being like, we want to be the biggest, we want to be the best.
Yeah.
Maybe they can have more satellites or better coverage or faster internet.
Yeah.
Than maybe if it was government run, perhaps it would be less efficient.
Just leave Starlink to it.
Just be like, it's just you.
Yeah. At that point, because they're in collaboration with NASA. I don't know.
But then even the government need to get involved and go, if you're having no competitors and we're ruling out competitors, you need to have a fair price.
Do you know what?
Because if they had a monopoly, they could charge anything.
We actually need something that's like worldwide owned for once.
Yeah.
Something where it's not owned by a country. It's not like American.
And space should be.
Space should be. So that's, do you know what? The Starlink system, give it to the whole world.
Yeah. How about we start a new movement?
I'll look after it.
World peace through the stars.
No, we don't want any of that.
Okay, well, okay.
Don't want any world peace or anything. Like
next up.
Next up. Yes, Arthur has been bitten a couple times.
Yeah, apologies for my red legs. Mosquitoes never bite me, and then on the final night,
I had the same issue when I went to Spain. I never get bitten, by the way, ever. And then for some reason in Spain, they were biting me alive.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna fucking
maybe they're podcast fans.
Yeah, at least suck my nuts if you're gonna do it.
Like, this is what you get for this is what you get for inappropriate, inconsistent uploads.
Yeah,
inappropriate uploads.
But they're cheeky. Like one night, I literally just left only my ass out, and they didn't touch it.
Oh my!
Because I was like, well, if they're gonna suck me in the night, at least make it worth it.
This is a really specific example of us going from brain rot to science. That's just the craziest tangent when I'm trying to talk about. It's fine. We love it though.
Yeah. Speaking of fruits, my favorite is an orange, which also sometimes is similar to tangerines. Tangent. Anyway, talking about next storyline.
Great segue.
Thanks.
If you haven't already, the Earth is getting another what this year? Is it A, eclipse, B, moon, or C, parade of planets?
You say clit?
And the new Earth clitoris.
The new clit of the Earth.
Because so far the men have been unable to find the first one.
I'm pretty sure if there was a clit of Earth, it'd be United
huge,
Kingdom
yet
anyway.
We still think it's a myth.
True. It is a myth. It's not real.
Mount Everest.
It's made up in Shrek. Yeah, anyway. Mount Everest is the clit. What's going on right now, man?
Come on, the Earth is getting another what this year? A, eclipse, B, moon, C, parade of planets.
What does parade of planets mean?
Oh, so that's when loads of planets like line up in a row.
Oh.
In the sky.
Okay, I don't know if there's going to be another eclipse this year. Then parade of planets. I don't know if that's due right now. What we are? Oh my gosh! Oh,
speak louder. Spit it out.
Yeah. I'm just thinking right now. Don't worry about me.
No, he's looking at the next.
I was looking
eclipse.
at my watch to see. No, I was looking to see where the planets were at this current time. But I can feel it in my balls that they're not lining up right now. That rarely happens.
This year. I said this year.
Oh yeah, so you know what you just did? You revealed the truth
Earth
to me
is getting this year an eclipse, a moon, Another eclipse, another moon.
Is it trying to be funny by saying, oh, another moon because a comet's coming by, though?
It's not a comet, no.
All right, so there's not getting another moon. You don't just get another moon like that.
Can you just pick one then?
No, because I want to be right.
You're
That's
doing
the problem
so much
here.
thinking. Oh, yeah, this is astronomy. You should get this right.
Fine, parade of planets.
On September 8th, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter, just not Uranus and Neptune, will align in the sky. Unfortunately, it's not this year. It's 2040 when that's happening. That's going to be so cool.
It doesn't happen often.
No, it really doesn't happen often. So we're about 15 years away.
But you made me think it was that because when I was like, oh, I don't think they're lining up anytime soon. You went this year. Remember this year, and that made me think you were trying to point me in the right direction.
Yeah. No, so the next parade of planets is on September 8th.
Okay, so what is it then?
And yeah, it's going to go Mars, Mercury, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter all lined up in the sky. How cool is that?
But not my anus.
Hey, in case you needed another reason to stick around, not only do we want to see you at a live show in the comment section, making our lives a little bit brighter, the sky is going to be a little bit brighter with the planets in 2040. So stick around for that.
Are you going to reveal the truth or?
The truth is another moon. What?
Nah, I'm not accepting that.
So, a 10-meter wide asteroid.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Called 2024 PT5 will become a mini moon from the 29th of September until the 25th of November.
Can I be honest?
So it's going to do 2 months of being a moon.
Can I be honest?
Go on.
It will be a satellite, not a moon. The moon's the moon.
Well, you can have more than one moon. Plenty of planets have multiple moons.
The moon's called the moon.
Yeah.
The moon is a satellite called the moon.
Yeah, but we can get another moon.
No, guys, you can't.
Do you know what the definition for a moon is?
Let me think. To be in orbit of a large body or planet.
Pretty much, yeah. An actual satellite of any planet.
Satellite.
So it's going to be a satellite. Not another one.
Not another one.
Oh, the Dutch people are going to be so annoyed. First, Elon Musk's in the way, and now this 10-meter wide moon.
Oh my God.
But think about
that's really cheeky of them to say that, though.
Think about 10-meter wide. Like, that's, that's like
niche.
twice this room.
It's the size of an orca.
But that's so cool.
That's the size of it's like a large orca.
So yeah, the mini moon. And finally,
it's like the size of an orca.
So you've got.
It's like if you were to lay a killer
whale.
You're
0 for 2 here.
It'd be like the size of the killer whale.
You've got 1 in 3, so you should, finish on 1 in 3 on average, even if you had no education in the gas. Finally, intact skin, hair, and tissues found on a 32,400-year-old what? Woolly mammoth, woolly rhino, or Neanderthal?
How many years old, sorry?
32,400-year-old. Intact skin, hair, and tissue found on it.
Intact?
Skin, hair, and tissue.
They have tissues.
Found on a 32,400-year-old what?
30,000-year-old. And it's not...
Woolly mammoth, woolly rhino, or Neanderthal?
I don't think it's going to be a Neanderthal due to the time frame. I don't think it would be... I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Mammoth.
That is unfortunately incorrect. It's a woolly rhino. You were right about the timings because the Neanderthals basically went extinct in about 40,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So 32,000 would be a bit early for them. But woolly rhinos, you really never really hear about them.
Talk about them, yeah. I love rhinos.
Do you?
Yeah.
A woolly rhino, how cool is that? Just like a...
It's like a big rhino, but woolly.
A big rhino. And they roamed from 3.6 million years ago.
They found that just now?
To just 10,000 years ago. Well, they found it in the summer of 2020 in Russia.
Okay, but even so.
But they've been studying it. And yeah, it's estimated
they could bring that thing back.
Maybe. Depends how good technology you get.
They're doing it with a mammoth still.
Yeah, they are actually.
The French have been doing it for ages. Just bring the fucker back.
But you'll love this, yeah. If you love rhinos, a woolly rhino, how cute's that going to be?
I do. My childhood toy is a rhino.
This one died only 4.5 years old as well.
What a shame.
And the most significant finding this, because we've found them before, but the most significant part of this one was that it had a fatty hump on its back.
Ooh, that's a bit horrible thing to say.
As an anatomical peculiarity that's never been physically identified on the species before.
Yeah. Imagine dying at 4 years old. Someone digs up your body and all they can say, oh, it's got a fatty lump on its back. That's weird.
Yeah.
Look at that fatty lump.
Yeah.
Maybe it was kind of like a. Do you think it was maybe a mutation?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Could have been a one-off. Could have served an evolutionary benefit?
Like a camel. I can imagine it would be beneficial.
Yeah.
That's where camels came from. Oh my God, I figured it out.
Well, they share a common ancestor, that's for sure.
Do they?
Well, everything in life does, really.
Yeah, that's true. Even me and you. Yeah. And I'm not of this earth.
You're Mr. Panspermia.
That's right. Panspermia brought me here, guys.
Final science bit before we get into the submissions, the crazy ones that Batch have pulled out. So we're going to figure out, given we love science on this show, what scientist are you?
Oh, whoopee.
So, like when we did What Philosopher Are You, I'm going to ask you 10 questions.
Yeah.
You got to answer me. I'm going to tell you what famous scientist you are.
Can I know the options or not?
Yeah.
Or they don't tell you? No, I mean the options of scientists that I could be.
Oh.
Or maybe I don't want to know because if I get a shit one and there's
Yeah,
good
and you'll
ones
also
that I
try
don't
and
wanna know.
be like, oh, I want to be this
You're right,
scientist, so I'm going to
right,
pick answers that sound like him. First up, what is the best way for you to make a significant contribution to scientific fields? A, are you running experiments and assessing things that go wrong for unexpected benefits? Exploring the world? Placing bets against your fellow scientists? Or by challenging unscientific institutions, even if it would hinder your personal life?
A, running experiments.
Oh, you're an experimental man.
Yes, I am. I've got a sock underneath my bed that's filled with yogurt. I've been under there for 3 years.
That ain't yogurt.
No, it was a froob.
Oh.
And I don't know if I should say that. It talks.
In what language?
Can't tell you.
Can you give us a rough impression on how it sounds?
No, sounds exactly like you. It actually does.
It's me hiding under his bed.
Yeah, it just goes every now and then.
It's the sock again. Good night. I love you.
Oh, God. Guys, that was all a joke. It's not real.
How do you feel about your country's society? Those in charge have the wrong ideas and I need to change them. My society needs to change, but I'll do this by advocating for political candidates I agree with. I think it's generally fine. It isn't for me to comment upon, or I'm proud of my country and would accept its highest honours.
A.
You need to change the wrong ideas.
Yeah, I'm
Fair
going
enough.
to create a dictatorship, I think.
What inspires you to make discoveries? A, incredible works of art. B, your family's wisdom. C, the scientists in whose footsteps you're now following. Or D, when there's an accident and has an interesting result.
D.
D,
Yeah.
curiosity.
That's right. Oh, Curiosity got the cat. And in that case,
Shout out Curiosity Rover. How do you work with others? This is going to be an interesting one because I can call you out on it if you're lying. I'm happy to let others pick up and complete what I started. I like maintaining a healthy level of competition with my peers. I believe that collaboration is one of the keys to success, or I prefer to work on my own.
what was A?
You're happy to let others pick up and complete what you started.
I think I'm more of a lone worker, you know?
You prefer to work on your own.
Yeah. Not like, well, I just do it. Like most of my videos are solo and everything
You're right.
I do. I don't collab too much.
You're right.
Yeah, in general, I'd say I'm more of a solo worker.
A lone wolf.
A lone wolf, you might say.
No surprise.
An alpha disbanded.
Which of these subjects would you like to specialize in? Oh, I already know this one. Biology, bacteriology, astronomy, or cosmology?
Oh, did you say bacteriology? I would go cosmology. Yeah. That's right.
If you could, would you grow a beard? This is a topic of hot debate right now because you're growing it out a little bit.
I was testing, but I don't know if I dig it or if I prefer.
I like it prefer it to clean shaven. I think it's a cool look.
This right now is just a couple of days. Yeah.
Rugged stubble. Oh yeah, I brought my beard trimmer on holiday with me, and it didn't bring the charger, and it ran out.
Yeah, so if you're wondering, no, that's not Dumbledore sat next to me. That's Arthur. I offered to give him a scissor cut.
I should not have said that. I'm literally Hagrid.
Anyway.
So if you could, would you grow a beard?
No, I wouldn't, because the mustache is my thing.
Yes, no, not even if they're in fashion, or perhaps later in life.
Perhaps later in life. Yeah. But I'll keep the muzzy for now.
Which of these colleges would you most likely to enroll within? The University of Westminster, the University of Oxford, the University of Pisa, or the University of Edinburgh?
Ooh. Edinburgh.
Ooh, fascinating.
Because the vibe.
It's a beautiful,
Imagine
place
in
from what I've heard.
autumn,
I'd love to go.
everything's fucking orange. You're you're watching Harry Potter. You're drinking hot chocolate in cafes, reading books, pretending to read because I can't read.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's why I do the podcast prep.
Yeah.
How are you going to read the submission after this?
I've got pictures and I just guess. Pretty much.
Which of these places would you ultimately like to work or teach science in? Italy, London, Cambridge, or across the world?
Across the world!
You're a globetrotter.
Yep.
I would have thought you'd be an anchor person where you'd like to be
You're a wanker.
Not what I said.
Sorry, I'm in defense mode today.
Where you'd want to, yeah. I went to shake his hand and he put me in a headlock when I first saw him.
No, I like, you know how we're doing a tour on the 10th of October, right?
We're not touring. We're going.
You know we're doing a live show on the 10th of October.
Hackney.
Imagine taking that all over the world.
That is true.
That's right.
Comment down below which country you're from or where you think we should tour to, because we want to glow.
That's right.
We want to glow. We want to go global.
Thank you. Well done. And we're not coming to Wales. Joking, we will. Joking, we will. Joking, we will. Joking, we will.
It'd be a great excuse to sort of like go to American Samoa, you know.
Samoa?
The federal states of Micronesia. Just go around like Australasia where we'd never, like, because it's so far and so
no one
expensive
turns up to the shows because no one out there watches
populations
us.
are quite low.
Yeah.
If you're from Australasia or Oceania or whatever you grew up calling it in school.
What did you grow up calling it?
Oceania.
Same. Yeah. Well, a bit of both. Some maps say Australasia, so it throws you off.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, is there a correct one and an incorrect one?
It just depends on...
Why is that? Is one a native way of saying it, one isn't?
Well, there's not really like... Continents are a bit of a mess anyway, aren't they? Like,
yeah.
There's no real reason why we should split North America and South America, because they're just an American continent, so some people don't.
Is it not the plates, though? Is it not the plates they lie on? Tectonic.
Yeah, but as in, like, if you Google, like, if you go on Wikipedia of like continents, like, there'll be several different tables being like, there are 3 continents, there are 4.
Right, okay,
like, you hear Afro-Eurasia as a continent.
Right, yeah.
Just because Africa, Europe, and Asia are all connected technically. And it's like, you know, and then, you know, the federal states of Micronesia aren't connected by land to Australia, but they're all like, it's all a bit, actually, Lara, do you want to quickly just check? Because I'm curious which one. I would say there are 7 continents. Just type in continents and go on the Wikipedia. Yeah, look, so if you think there are 4, they have Afro-Eurasia, America, Antarctica, and Australia.
Oh, right, I see what you're saying.
Oh, that calls Australasia/Oceania just straight up Australia.
Oh, right.
But Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Australia is usually what I would go
It looks
for.
like they've just left New Zealand in its own thing. It's not even coloured it in.
Yeah, they've not really because they've got Australia.
They just don't even think New Zealand is a real place.
There.
It doesn't look
Isn't
real.
that Fiji? Because
where?
And all the like Samoa.
Oh yeah,
Tuvalu, Kiribati.
Yeah, it just doesn't think it's a real place apparently.
Wow, interesting.
It is an interesting.
What does it say
place.
the 8th continent is? There's a little thing saying the 8th continent.
Oh, Narnia. Right.
6 European 5 rings. The 8th continent has been identified with various places such as Zealandia, a submerged continent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is Zealandia New Zealand? Under New Zealand? Submerged?
Yeah.
That's quite interesting, actually. And that's not like common knowledge.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, go back up
Maori.
go back up to the map again. Where is that? Just on that southeast.
Gosh.
Yeah, that is weird. And yeah, because on the purple, you've got Australia.
Yeah.
And then Papua New Guinea is the
yeah.
one straight up, and then you've just got...
Which is such an interesting place, by the way, because of the animals they got there.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like locked off from... Like, aren't all the animals there... what's the word for keeping it in a pouch? What are they called?
Marsupials.
Yeah. Like almost all the animals there are
course.
marsupial. Because they were like locked off from land after it cut off from Australia.
That is so interesting.
So it's got really interesting. It's got really interesting animal and plant life, I've heard.
Fascinating. Anyway, that was a big tangent, but I always did find that the whole continent thing was a bit odd. That like.
Yeah, I always thought for some reason they were based on tectonic plates, but it seems
I guess
like
that kind of is, but they...
It seems like it's very loosely based off that, though. They're just like, oh, chuck whatever you want.
Because like, there'll be people listening that go like, oh, I was taught, and of course Afro-Eurasia is one continent.
Yeah.
And there'll be others that go like, obviously Europe, Africa and Asia are all separate.
Yeah, it really depends how you band them in. But it's the same as countries. Like, it really depends where you want to draw a line. If you're looking at the world from the sky.
Yeah.
Countries aren't real.
Continent defined as just any of the world's main continuous expanses of land. So it's just a continuous expanse of land, which just makes it a bit more complicated. But
yeah, it does. Then like any island surely is a continent in itself. Yeah. Or it doesn't belong anywhere. Well, that ruins us, doesn't it?
And we spoke about the coastline paradox a little bit actually on the Fellas podcast. This idea that, you can't really measure the length of a border of a country because it's kind of like fractals where every time you look, you could curve a little bit within the rock and all of a sudden a straight line up the coast, if you weave in and out of all the rocks and all that kind of stuff, you're going to get really, really long. And like the Spanish and the Portuguese both, I think, had a bit of a tussle when they were like, my border between you is this many kilometers. And they were like, what? No, it's this many. It just depends how long the lines are. But if you do it in like 1 mile straight lines, it's going to be very different to like 10 meter straight lines.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting. What the heck how have we gone on to this? We're so close to the end of the quiz. Do you think your scientific discoveries could affect your faith? Yes, they would confirm my belief there is no God. Yes, they would make me reassess there was a God. No, I've never been particularly religious anyway. No, I believe in God and nothing I discover could change this. I'm guessing you'll just C for that one. You've never been particularly religious.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, is that not the result?
10th. So this is the final question.
Okay.
Which of these quotes do you most strongly agree with? A, all truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them. B, one sometimes finds what one is not looking for. C, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. D, a scientific man ought to have no wishes, no affections, a mere heart of stone.
B,
one sometimes finds what one is not looking for.
Hey, you'll never find what you're looking for. You'll always find what you're not looking for.
It's so true, actually, isn't it?
You will always find what you ain't looking for.
Calculating result. I think I've got to put in my...
Yeah, there's a quote about that. Just put in
kind of like Alexander Fleming discovering penicillin.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Leaving his moldy bread out.
Yeah. Hey, you don't find what you're looking for by searching for it.
So many discoveries actually come from accidental, like
yeah.
Even things like, wasn't Viagra supposed to be like a heart medicine?
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, there's a funny side effect going on here.
Yeah.
Everyone is bricked up to the moon.
Yeah, everyone got a boner. What?
I bet they've all been shagging in.
Probably took them a while to realise though, because no one would have come clean about it.
Yeah,
everyone's taking it and be like,
yeah,
I think it's helping my heart. I don't know.
Yeah, my heart's feeling a lot better.
Yeah, but I wonder how long it would have taken for someone to be like, I'm going to be honest, I've got a boner.
Yeah, and it's been here for 4 fucking hours
and they're like,
now.
oh, thank fuck, so do I.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, because don't they take Viagra when you go up to like high altitudes because it helps you get blood or something like that? I don't know. I feel like in the Top Gear episode, they were all on Viagra, no?
What?
And they were up in Peru, maybe, or Patagonia?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I was. Oh, no, because I was watching Top Gear on Pornhub, that's why. Richard Hammond on...
How funny that we say it. Guess who you are?
Richard Hammond?
No. Which scientist do you think you are?
Oh, Fleming.
You're Alexander Fleming.
Hey!
You discovered penicillin and therefore antibiotics in general in the 1920s, which has saved countless lives.
So I have actually arguably saved the most lives of any human being ever.
Maybe. You'd be
I
up
would
there.
actually argue that.
Yeah,
probably.
I bet you Fleming's got to be up there.
Yeah, 100%.
However, to bring your discovery to the masses, you rely on others to refine what to refine once you... Oh my goodness. To refine what... Oh my... Is this written weird or am I just being...
Do we have someone who can read?
However, to big... Oh my goodness.
Let me read
I'm panicking now. However, okay, I got this. Come on, hype me up.
No, you got this.
Come on, Lara, hype me up. That's all I needed. However, to bring your discovery to the masses, you rely on others to refine what you started into a solution that can be mass produced.
Yeah, that's true. I like to distribute work.
Because of this, you're incredibly modest about your contribution and even credit its discovery to your colleagues.
So true. I'm like,
you always tell everyone, you're like, Arthur is the podcast.
Yeah, I'm always like, no. Honestly. You're all here for him. You're all here for me. I'm just sat here. I don't even say anything.
Yeah, you're very pick me.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. You are the light of my life in this podcast. Anyway, despite your modesty, you are still considered the founding father of antibiotics.
That's right.
We should speak about antibiotic resistance becoming a problem at some point as well, because what is our greatest ally could one day become our greatest enemy.
At what point though do we stop using antibiotics and use nanobots instead?
That would be a good one.
Because they would just do the same thing. Yeah. But they ain't getting resistant.
It's an evil of evolution, you know. If you take your antibiotics, stop halfway through, and just a couple of quite resistant pathogens have survived, and then they're duplicating, and then they can like produce really strong offspring that all of a sudden maybe they'll just be antibiotic resistant, and we'll be in a future where people can get ill and our antibiotics won't work because all the remaining pathogens are resistant to antibiotics. We can go into it in more detail at some point, but please, if you have a course of antibiotics, even if you feel better, even if your symptoms have gone away, just finish the course. Thank you.
God, GP sat next to me now.
Yeah, come on.
Oh,
well, it's genuinely probably one of the most important messages we could tell the world.
Okay, can you have a look at this rash?
Not this again.
To audio listeners, I pulled down my trousers.
Yeah, and it's green somehow.
Okay, let's not lie.
That's not lie.
Let's not lie, please. I'm getting nervous, sorry.
In case you haven't already, final segment.
Shout out to penicillin. We love you, all the shit that we've been doing. But just
penicillin, love your work.
just picture
Betty, hi. Look at this, isn't it, darling?
I don't think I get the reference, to be honest.
Have you not seen The Grinch?
Yeah, I have.
Betty, hi. The lady from next door.
Doing it another time.
And she's got the gun. Look at this. Isn't it, darling? And she's got like a massive cannon with like fucking lights on it. And Betty's like putting up her lights hammer hand, and she just goes and like dresses her entire house in Christmas lights.
I remember the house getting, but I don't remember the dialect.
You don't remember
the
Betty? Oh,
yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I remember you were doing that bit.
Such a great scene and such a great movie.
Do you know what this reminds me of? That clip of you talking about SpongeBob on it. What was it? A Chris video?
A Chris Andy video.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" You're like, "There's a Krabby Patty under his tongue."
Just take the pickles out your tongue, bro.
This is so long.
A classic, really.
Sorry, you've really thrown me off there.
Yeah, it's submission time.
Welcome to your agony uncles.
I just can't wait for us to watch Christmas movies and have hot chocolates.
That's not happening. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about your submissions. That's right. We are the agony uncles. You guessed it.
And we actually dropped the link before this in the Patreon chat, being like, little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Patreons.
Yeah.
If you want to submit something new and cool, you can, and you get priority. But everyone gets a fair shout. If you've got a crazy story, there's a good chance
I look for the good ones, to be honest. And also, we always drop that, don't we?
Yeah, it's in the links in the description. You can access the submissions thing. We haven't done a submissions thing in ages, actually.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. It's a little song for these people. Maybe in a live show we could do live submissions.
You know, we did a submissions on the Useless Hotline, and it made me realize how the way my brain works is just so boring sometimes, because we read this entire paragraph out.
Yeah.
And then they basically jumped at the core threat of the issue and gave a really good answer. And just before then I was like, let's dissect this one by one. The first line, ooh, you may have made a mistake from this. And I was like, because I'm so used to it. I had so many years at uni of getting a case study, especially in law, where you do the facts and you go was there a crime committed here?
Yeah.
Was there?
It's like when we had a fucking submission of someone saying, "Oh, I keep seeing birds. Is this like a sign or something?" And you were like, "Well, if you take out a notebook and make a note of every bird you see on a walk, you can eventually create a p-value, and then from that p-value."
I rambled for about 10 minutes.
That is honestly one of my favourite clips of this podcast.
I love the scientific method.
That was so funny. You do,
and logically walking through. So hey, if there's a big one here, because I got shut down big time for being too boring on the useless hotline, but
okay,
this is a podcast where we can't be boring.
Yeah, I do try and shut you down, but you cut those bits out. Right. So these are all. I'll keep all these anonymous. The first one is, I've started sixth form, and in English, I've been sitting next to this person who absolutely fucking stinks. No glaze. I don't know what no glaze means after that. Is that because it isn't?
That's not glazing. It wouldn't.
Right.
Glazing.
I don't really know. Maybe they work at Krispy Kreme or something. I don't know. I had double English today and had to sit there smelling it for 2 hours. And whenever they close their book, the smell wafts.
Oh no.
The smell wafts towards me, and I can't do this anymore. What should I do? Should I ask my teacher to move? But I would have to say why. Also, me and Lois love you so much. Please do a live show tour and come to Norwich.
Yeah, come on.
Well, we said maybe we will.
We may very well. Norwich, though.
That
could be one.
That could be one, Norwich. Yeah. I think the best way to do this is just bring in Febreze and just be like, oh, I've got a funny idea. Let's do this thing where I spray you and then you spray me and we go until someone finally says stop. No, do it. No, do it. No, do it. Spray yourself 7 times in a row. That would be so funny. Just do something like that.
Yeah.
That'll fix the issue.
What do you actually do, though? Because
you have to complain.
To a teacher?
Yeah.
That might be a better, because a teacher might be...
The teacher can just outright say you need to use deodorant.
Yeah, in a more formal way. I feel like if someone says it to you in class, you're like, oh, that's a bit mean.
Harsh, yeah. If he just gets taken out and say, look, Onions, you need to start using deodorant. It's fucking pissing.
I sat next to a kid in maths class at one point who was just a serial farter. And I was like, some days it would like sting the nostrils and make my eyes water. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But with that, at least with this one, like they can I just hiccuped.
What the fuck just
like I could smell it again. And
threw up in his mouth.
And I gagged. With this one, at least you can be like, things could change, because you're like, hey, listen, like use a bit of deodorant or brush your teeth or whatever. When it's a gaseous anomaly.
Oh, have some gum. Have some more gum. That'd be so funny. Have 7. Please. Oh, that's so funny.
Eat it. It's yours.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. I mean, yeah, you probably just have to say something to the teacher. And just be honest. Just say, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be mean, but he smells and it's putting me off
if
my
it's
work.
if it's affecting your learning as well.
And I do get it. It's such a difficult one, because when I was on holiday, there was a guy who sat down. We were outside. He sat down on the table next to us. And we would just get wafts. He obviously he'd probably had a hard day and he had no deodorant on and just kept wafting over with the wind. And it put all of us off our meal.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was there with my cousin and girlfriend at the end of the table, and all we could smell it was so ripe. It was unreal. And the fucker, I looked over and he just got his arms up like this. I was like, put them down. Please put them down. But just, some people just don't care, I guess.
Yeah. But also it could be a positional thing. Like they might not have running hot water at home. They might not be able to afford deodorant or toothpaste or something. So maybe a teacher is the best person to speak to them, because they could be like,
sort that out.
Look, we can help you if you need it.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, do something about it. Don't just sit there and brave it, because you don't have to go through that.
Yeah. No, you don't. And he does like, that's all you can think about.
Yeah. It's a very overbearing
I know from
sense.
being on this podcast.
Sometimes
I really struggle.
That is not true. I'm a nice smelling person.
Do you know what? I got a DM saying I look like I smell.
That's so mean.
Do you think I look like I smell?
No, you look very clean to me.
I reckon I probably do look like I smell, because I've got
You don't smell either,
a lot of
ever,
hair.
really.
Say it a bit more convincingly, please.
Well. No.
Anyway, next submission. Do you think we help them?
Yeah. Tell the teacher.
Okay, this one's a bit more serious. Buckle up. Take your rose toy out and listen.
Oh my goodness.
Do you see that edit of me and the rose toy, by the way?
No.
Oh my God, someone made an edit of me and a rose toy.
Doing what?
No, it was just like pictures of me and a rose toy on screen, like we were a couple sort of thing.
That is
so
mental.
funny. I'll show you later.
I really liked there was from Reading, my Reading vlog, I showed Batch this one. There was like someone had taken screenshots of all the like different like group bits from my Reading vlog with Chris, George and Arthur, and just put Batch in the background.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
And we were cracking
up. Yeah,
up.
they didn't invite me. I can't believe it.
Yeah. No, you were away. You're in America.
No, they didn't invite me. Okay. I need help. I've been with my boyfriend for months now and it's been great. He's just had his birthday and we had a great time with his family, but I don't know what to do anymore. I found out he was texting his ex a few weeks ago, comforting her about her recent breakup and apologizing to her about his reply times after she had told him she missed him. In brackets, when he told me he was asleep.
Oh, the lying bit, not good.
I have to repeat myself 3 to 4 times to him before he takes anything in and will just blankly stare at me. Either that or he just dismisses it. I told him my nan had fallen ill and we went to visit her and he said, yeah, so bad, but I'm having a barbecue with my family. It's great. Please give me any advice because I'm torn whether to stay with him or not. I know it's all minor, but it just builds up. I don't know if that's minor.
No. Texting an ex and lying about it is...
That's definitely not minor.
That's a big red flag and also often grounds for divorce.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like they've been together months as well. It's not even been like a year yet. So it's probably,
It's definitely worth a straight up conversation of being like, just lay down your boundaries, I think is an easy one to do. Just be like, hey, this is, I figured this out. I've seen it. And if you really care about them and you don't want to break up over it, which it sounds like isn't the case, you should be like, look, if you've still got your feelings for your ex, just be nice and let me know. And then, and I can respect it. I'd much rather find out about it and have them go back to their ex when I just go, I knew it was coming, than be like, oh, I found out a month later that you've been like getting them behind their back. Yeah,
I think you need to have a serious conversation. It sounds like, and if it's something you've already spoken to him about, it sounds like he probably just doesn't have enough respect for you.
Yeah. You deserve better, I feel like, in that kind of stuff. Like if someone hasn't moved on from their ex, they shouldn't really be in a relationship with someone new, especially if, I'm not going to say that's always the case because let's say you're in a relationship with someone for like 10 years and you were married and then you broke up and like 3 years later you're ready to move on, like you're not going to be fully over it maybe.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of your life. So,
yeah, but if they're not over it to the point where like they can't resist messaging them being like, I miss you or whatever, that's when you go like,
Yeah, fix up.
Yeah, you got a choice to make.
Yeah.
But it is funny, I feel like it's like so many things, like communication just is so effective and so important, and to just be like, with all this, like, what do I do? Like, just go and say exactly how you feel. Just be like, this is how I feel. This is what I know. This is what I want the outcome to be. And either put the ball in their court and be like, fix up. Or if you're going like, you know what? This isn't worth it. I deserve to be treated better. I deserve to find someone better. I'm moving on out, and just go, you know what? I'm not going to be a toxic person or anything. Be like, I wish you well. You made a mistake. Humans make mistakes.
Yeah.
But this isn't for me anymore. I'm going to pursue someone who's ready to give me their all.
And then play Headlines by Drake in your AirPods.
Yeah. That's a great one.
That'll make you feel great.
Jason Derulo riding solo.
Yeah.
That's a banger.
Yeah. Yeah. Riding solo. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just do one of those two options.
I'm putting on my shades, cover up my eyes. I'm twerking in my thong and thighs. I can't remember.
Really?
I don't know what the lyrics again.
Jason Derulo never twerked in his
Laura's
song.
laughing, so I think I might have got the lyrics
I think
wrong.
you fucked
Laura,
up.
what are the lyrics really quickly? Can you Google them, please?
I thought you were going to ask her to sing them.
I'm twerking in my ride or something.
It's not twerking in my thong.
Where is it?
Feeling good tonight.
Where's that? I'm putting on my shades.
I'm putting on my shades, cover up my eyes.
I'm jumping in my ride and heading out tonight.
Right, which is easily confused with...
I'm twerking in my thighs.
I'm twerking in my thong. and my thighs. That's what you said.
I'm putting on my shades to cover up my ass. I'm twerking on my thong or something like that. That's how I thought it. I know it's to cover up my shades, but I thought I'm jumping in my ride. I'm jumping in my ride heading out tonight. It makes so much more sense than Jason Derulo putting on a thong and twerking.
Yeah, although I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Some
especially in that
like
era.
It.
Especially in that era.
Maybe he's got a badonkadonk that he wants to share with the world. Some women like it.
Yeah. I'm not down. I think women's do like big women's.
I think the women's.
I think women's do like big asses on men, you know.
Do they?
Yeah. I'm going to say it. George Clark's double cheeked up.
Yeah, he is. He's got it.
And the ladies love it. And the ladies love it. And it's good for proportion, I think.
Interesting.
It's really good for proportion. Like if your ass is inverted, it goes in as a male. It's hard to sit down.
You've put in a lot of thought into.
Yeah, I saw an edit of George's ass. Right.
Fair enough.
The next submission. This is a long one. So I actually do need to have a deep breath because my allergies are playing up. Can't breathe through my nose. So.
Oh, I was wondering why you looked away from the microphone inside.
Yeah, I was inhaling. I was trying to get some air in. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go. All in one breath. Go.
Hey, so I've fallen at the first hurdle.
No, don't actually, because people listening like me won't be able to keep up. And
that's true. Okay. Right. Hey, Batch and Arthur. Sorry, this is a bit of a long one, but I feel like I'm in a bit of a rock and a hard place right now. I'm currently in my second last year of school and have an older sister that graduated a couple years back and did really well. Got an exceptional ATAR. In the all-school system, every test and exam you do for the year goes towards your ATAR, and it's really hard to do well, so it's really impressive.
I've never heard that before.
My problem is that I don't really know how to be proud of myself or focus on my efforts without comparing it to my sister's results. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm beyond proud and happy for my sister, especially considering that I've seen all the incredible work that she's put in behind the scenes to achieve the success. She's inspired me my whole life to work hard, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be in the position I am today, i.e. always putting my best effort into school and doing really well, consistent 80s, 90s results, so very smart. I think part of the reason I struggle with it is because for the past couple of years, everyone has been comparing me to her, like my teachers saying, oh, you're going to get a 96. For reference, my sister got a 95. My parents saying the same, and even my sister had said a couple of times that she would legitimately cry if I did better than her. On top of that, I'm someone who consistently puts a lot of pressure on myself to do well because I know I've always been capable of doing really well in school. But part of me knows that whether I like it or not, people are going to compare me to her once I reach year 12. And it's sad to think some people, even my own sister, are going to define me by a number. It's been going on for ages and it's taken a real toll on my mental health, which just made everything more difficult, especially since I've been going through a really difficult time mentally for the past couple of years. It took a toll on my relationship with my sister as well, and most of the time I just don't see the point of me putting effort and time into school anymore if I'm always going to be in my sister's shadow, and nobody is ever going to acknowledge my hard work and effort. Part of me just feels trapped and I don't know what to do. I know I can change my mindset, but the bigger part comes from me knowing deep down that I can't control other people's opinions and they're going to compare me to her no matter what I do. It's especially hard considering this has been ongoing for a while. Any advice or tips you can give me is really greatly appreciated. P.S. I've honestly been loving the podcast. It's done wonders for my mental health recently, having something to look forward to each week. And I can genuinely say that I've learned more through the pod than almost 12 years of schooling. Keep up the hard work and effort because it goes a lot further than you think.
Oh, yeah, sometimes it does strike me that we are educating people as well as entertaining. Like, most people wouldn't have known that the writing solo lyrics weren't twerking my thong.
That's so true. That's way better than 12 years of school.
Yeah. Wow, so quite a big one. Do you want to start off on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it is such a tough one because, like she said, like, you can change your mindset. I could sit here and say, you've got to think, who cares? But it's way easier said than done.
Yeah.
But comparison really is the thief of joy. You just have to, I mean, it sounds like you're really smart. You're doing really well. And in any other circumstance, if your sister wasn't also smart, then this would never be a problem. It's such a tough one because it's got to come from within, really. You know what I mean? To be able to accept the fact that some people are going to think things and they are going to compare, but there's nothing that's really out of your control. And if they do, does it really matter in the long run? Like, does it really affect you? I know it's affecting your mental health, but you've just got to be able to come to a position where you can say that you're proud of yourself and proud of your achievements, and you don't need external validation or the opinions of others to affect how you feel about yourself. So you really just have to get to a point where you are proud of yourself, because ultimately that's the most important thing. Like, it's great having people say, oh, I love, you've done great work, or like for us, oh, I love your video or whatever, but you really do need to be proud of your own work and proud of your own achievements, because it's so important for your own mental health. So it sounds like you need to do like, you need to work on your like self-love, really, and just work on being able to give yourself a compliment and not thinking about, like, don't compare it to anything else. Like you said, you're getting 80s and 90s. That's incredible. Be proud of that. That's amazing. Like, people can only dream of getting marks like that. You're really intelligent, really skilled, working really hard. And there's no reason to compare yourself to your sister. It's, if other people are doing it, then it's just a case of, like you said, you've let them, let them compare you. And if they do, I mean, I don't know whether you want to have a conversation with people next time they do say something like that, and just say, I don't really like it when you bring up other people's achievements when I'm trying to be proud of my own. Maybe set a boundary, or if you're...
Yeah, just a little quick, hey, I'm my own person, like, I've got my own goals and my own standards. And
yeah, But ultimately, I think you just need to find it within yourself to be proud of yourself, because then you'll be happy regardless. I think if you can get to a place where no matter what anyone else says, like, it's great having your parents say, "Oh, well done, you did great." But if deep down all that matters to you is knowing that you worked your hardest and you're proud of the result, or even just proud of the work you put in, you don't even have to be proud of the result, then that's the ultimate goal, really, to just get to a point where that is enough for you, you know? But it's a hard place to get to. I think everyone strives to get there, don't they? Yeah. It's not something that you just get overnight. But yeah, I think just work on like self-love and just being proud of yourself. And then the like, if people do compare you, I don't think it will bother you so much, because you know how hard you worked and you're proud of how hard you worked. You reckon?
Yeah, and you'll have your own things about, I mean, it's something I really like speaking about, and we speak about on the podcast sometimes, is like, everyone has such different goals in mind of like what their purpose in life is, what they get meaning from, what makes them happy, like where they see themselves. Like, you know, I've got loads of siblings, and I've been through the exact same thing, so I know exactly how it feels, like looking at siblings being like, oh, you know, you're so much more popular than me, or like, you're so much better in social situations. Well, I found a lot, or like, you're so much better at this subject than me, and like, wow, you know, your teachers love this and say this about you, and all this kind of stuff, and just being like, oh damn, like, you know I'm going to be compared to that, so I completely know how it feels. But then just going like, what is the end goal of it all, and like just going, you know, what do I want out of this? And when you're sitting there going like, I'm studying, just having that shift from I'm studying so I can be as good as my sister, to be like, oh, I'm studying to be the best I can be, because these are my goals. Like, this is what I want to do when I'm older. And if you look at the further goals, they'll be so different from your sister's. She might go like, I want to work in this field, and you go, I want to do something completely different. And although it may feel like your paths are so lined up in this early academic stage, especially in like the modern world, things just splinter off in a million different ways. And it's one where you go like, now you're just setting yourself up for a good future, just going like, you know, work a few years as hard as you can, like smash the results and stuff. Don't think about too much about this external pressure as much as possible, and just realize that at the end of it, like now, even us in our mid-20s, like no one our age really cares that much about your A-levels, because your A-levels put you onto your degree, and your degree gives you that first work experience and stuff like that. And you'll realize that like it is important, of course, like to study and do well now, but like you will end up finding your own path, especially if you can be true to yourself, and end up doing something that makes you really happy. And you'll realize that the comparisons and all these things are so irrelevant and so minor. And, you know, it is really hard to do, because it is quite easy, like Bach said, to just say that, you know, you should work on your self-love and stuff, but it doesn't happen that easily. So try a bunch of things and see what works for you. Maybe like writing down your own personal goals, so that, you know, when you achieve a certain amount in your exam, it doesn't really matter how you did compared with anyone else, because you've got it written down, and you get to tick off like, oh, I did this. And maybe you get to reward yourself with a trip or a day out, or like, you know, a new purchase or something like that. Like, give yourself something where you are rewarding yourself. Whether that's a checked box or something fun on the side. And I do think just thinking about like what the whole purpose is for you, and you'll definitely no doubt think like, oh, approval from my family and peers, like that is important. We're social animals. Like, of course it's important to us, and we want to make people proud. And like Bach said, just speaking out loud and being like, when people kind of make the comparison, go, oh yeah, my sister's done great, but you know, I'm doing my own thing and I'm proud of me. And you might find that words of affirmations help. I know that helps so many people. It doesn't work for everyone, but just waking up and almost like you were saying in the anxiety episode, like looking yourself in the mirror. Yeah. And like when you have conversations with yourself over and over again, like you're just strengthening those pathways in your brain. And it, you know, especially to a scientific minded person, you might think words of affirmation might not be that effective, but when you're that voice that you're hearing over and over again, you are like digging that pathway out in your brain. And if you are sitting there every day going like, I'm proud of me, I've got my own path, I'm my own person, I've got my own things to achieve, like I'm so looking forward to my future and I'm working hard now because I'm going to be rewarded for it in future and all this kind of stuff. Like the more you tell it to yourself and the more you reward yourself, like you do make that brain pathway for yourself. And yeah, it's so exciting. It's such a like cool part of your life where you're in this very narrow like trench that everyone goes down, pretty much this like academic path. And in a couple of years, things can go in like a billion different directions. And rather than going like, how am I doing necessarily on this path? Just like if you're focusing on going like, I'm all I've got to do now is open as many doors as possible. And just knowing that you've got so much cool stuff to look forward to in future, just focus on opening those doors, because when you hit our age, if you've done that as well as possible and open as many doors as possible, you're going to be such a happy person, and you're going to look back and be like, damn, I was so proud of myself back then. And almost looking at yourself in the future and being like, picturing your future self doing that thing that you want to do, or whether you know what that is now, or whether you just picture that person as going, hey, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm doing it right now. And I'm proud of you for all the work that you've done. And yeah,
you're so right. There's such like school feels like your whole life when you're in it.
Yeah, it really
but
does.
As soon as you're out, like Arthur said, everything splinters off into a million different directions. You won't be doing even close to the same thing as your sister, I'm sure. And then it will become a case of it like they're not even in comparison anymore, the things you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really do just have to tell yourself that you're proud of yourself, even if you're lying to yourself in the beginning and you don't believe it.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, you'll convince yourself that you are, and then it's true. And then, yeah, I think a fun exercise, which I did once, was, because I struggled with the same thing, was just, and I think we've spoken about it before, where we're so involved with trying to get better and better and better that you never really stop to think, oh, I've done well to get this far or whatever. A good thing to do is just to get, at the end of the day, like just before you go to sleep, think in your head like 3 little wins of the day that you made. Even if it's like, say you struggle with eating, you managed to eat a whole meal, that's a win. Or you went out today, that's a win. Or whatever it is, or you even just put in your hardest work into your schoolwork, that's a win. And if you start to do that, look positively at the things you have done in the day, even if they're small, you'll start to be proud of yourself, because you should be. We're too hard on ourselves these days, I think.
Yeah, everyone is. And especially with the internet, like we can probably even relate with social media, because like we can look around and go like, we probably don't think enough that we go, oh, we've put out a good video, a good episode. We're always like, how are we going to make the podcast bigger? How are we going to make this better? How are we going to grow? How are we going to hit 1 million subscribers? Like all that kind of stuff. And I think this is almost, I think maybe we should be grateful that you brought this up, because it's a nice time for us to go like,
yeah, that's true.
And everyone else listening, you know, of course, like this advice is directed to you, and we're hoping to help you as much as possible. And also great that the podcast has been helping.
Yeah.
But just a nice little reminder for everyone at home, and including us, like about being proud of yourself and being like, you know what, I did a good job. Yeah. And not being too hard on yourself if you don't do the best job, because sometimes things just don't go to plan.
Yeah, that's true.
I had exams that I was like, God, I really studied for that completely wrong, or didn't do this the best, or I made decisions where I'm like, oh, looking back, I can't believe I made that decision. Why didn't I do something else? Yeah. But just being like, you know what can you do other than learn from it and try your best the next time?
Yeah, exactly. Even if you've not had the greatest day, not the most productive day, you have learned from it. So you've gained something from the day. You do just have to try and have an outlook where you're more kind towards yourself.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're just monkeys on a spinning rock, and we're here to just enjoy life as much as possible. Yeah. And everything you're doing, studying, working hard, motivating yourself, it's all to just, you're investing in your future. It's a great thing to do. And stuff like that, when it's maybe a couple of years away, it's hard to like really picture it, but just going like, you know what, you're doing the best you can now. And who cares who you're compared to? Like, you're your own person. You're going to make yourself very proud in the future if you try your best and make all the right decisions that you can, and accept the fact that you'll get something wrong, but power on and you'll make it. And hopefully in a year's time, you'll write to this podcast being like, hey guys, ended up studying for my exams, got the grades I wanted. Now I'm going to do this and I'm having the best time ever. Yeah. And also my sister's doing well and she's doing her own thing, and I'm proud of her for that too. Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Amen, brother. So, and you've got good taste in podcasts. So yeah, you've already made a fantastic decision there. Yeah. So there you go. Yep. I think that's a good note to end the pod on. Yeah. And everyone listening, you just go away now, just tell yourself what you're proud of. Yeah. Give yourself a big pat on the back. Yeah. And be like, I'm proud of myself for allowing myself to enjoy an hour and a half of listening to the boys yapping.
Yeah, you deserve it.
You deserve it. You deserve every single episode.
Yeah, that's right. And do you know what? Although there's brain rot in here, there are, you taught them about the bloody Trace and Derulo lyrics.
Yep.
So there are bits of just knowledge sprinkled in. So you are learning as you go.
Yep.
That's all that
Woolly
matters.
rhinos. We've got small moons coming.
Yeah. The Earth's clit or something we were talking about. I don't know.
Yep.
All of that good stuff. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been Arthur.
I've been ItalianBach.
You've been Rose Toy.
Oh.
No, you've been,
the best Rose Toy viewers ever.
I don't really know how to sign it off, to be honest.
Oh, we've got to pick an emoji. Whilst Batch thinks of an emoji, please remember to subscribe, rate us highly on the podcast stuff.
I've got it.
Come watch us on tour.
Drop a moon in the comments right now because we're gaining one.
Yeah, we're getting a new moon. Drop a moon emoji. And this is cool because they'll all be different.
Yeah, because there's so many different moons. And then we can do a personality test just based on the moon that you picked.
Yep.
And if you just picked a crescent, you like a sweet treat, I can tell.
Yep.
Because a croissant is fresh
anyway,
on your mind.
reward of watching us over. Get back to work, you slacker.
Okay.
Nah, I'm joking. Or am I?
What's that as thing from?
Slacker.
Yeah, what's
Back
that
to the Future.
Okay, cool. Sorry, he knows too many references. Anyway, that'll be it now. Thanks, guys. That'll be it. Just rate us, just subscribe, like, rate us, all that. I think you already said that.
And most of all, thanks for watching and thanks for being you.